Why do 9 out of 10 get-rich-quick schemes end with you broke, angry, and wondering how you fell for it again? Well, that's what we're diving into today on KingG Finance Podcast. So grab your coffee or your energy drink if you're that kind of person, because this is going to be a wild ride through the world of fast money, broken dreams, and the truth about wealth in America. Now, let me hit you with this. America is basically the Disneyland of get-rich-quick fantasies. From the gold rush in the 1800s, to the dot-com bubble in the 2000s, to crypto memes and TikTok side hustles today, Americans are addicted to the idea of skipping the line to success. And honestly, who can blame them? No one wants to grind for 40 years at a job they hate just to maybe retire comfortably. People want shortcuts. They want the cheat code. But here's the thing. If getting rich quick was real, Jeff Bezos would have built Amazon in a weekend instead of 2 decades. Warren Buffett wouldn't still be reading annual reports at age 93. Elon Musk wouldn't be sleeping on the Tesla factory floor. He'd have just bought a scratch-off ticket. The fact that the richest people on Earth worked for years, sometimes decades, should tell us something. But nope. We still click on YouTube videos titled, "How I Made $10,000 in 1 week." So why are we like this? Why do Americans fall for these traps again and again? The answer isn't stupidity. It's psychology. Your brain is wired to love quick rewards. There's even a name for it: the dopamine jackpot. Every time you hear double your money in 30 days, your brain throws a party. It feels so good that you stop asking the obvious question, wait, who's actually making the money here? Let me give you a classic example. Bernie Madoff, the guy who pulled off the largest Ponzi scheme in history. For decades, he promised steady, magical returns. Not crazy huge, but just good enough to sound believable. And guess what? Hedge funds, celebrities, even charities handed him billions. They thought they were in on the secret. Instead, they were just funding his Hamptons mansion and private jet. When the house of cards collapsed, investors lost $65 billion. That's billion with a B. People's retirement savings, gone. Generational wealth, gone. But hey, Bernie lived large until he didn't. And here's the kicker. Even after Madoff, people still fall for new versions of the same scam. You slap a fresh coat of paint on it, call it crypto staking or AI trading bots, and suddenly the same old con looks shiny and new. It's like scammers are selling us the same rotten sandwich with a different wrapper, and we keep buying it because, well, it smells like hope. Hope sells. The dream of quitting your job, paying off debt, driving a Lambo, living the financial freedom life. That dream is irresistible. And it's easier to sell dreams than to sell reality. Reality is boring. Reality says invest in index funds, save more than you spend, be patient for 20 years. Nobody wants to hear that. Let me tell you a quick story. I once met a guy at a coffee shop. Let's call him Dave. Dave told me he was about to be a millionaire. How? By flipping Dogecoin. Not just a little bit. He had literally put his entire savings into it. When I asked him why, he said, "Dude, it's simple math. Dogecoin goes to $1, I retire." That was in 2021. Fast forward a year later, Dave is back at the same coffee shop, working behind the counter. No hate on honest work, but that's the reality of chasing get rich quick. Sometimes you get rich. Most times you get broke quick. And it's not just crypto. Let's talk about the Fyre Festival. Remember that disaster? It was supposed to be the ultimate luxury music festival, sold to millennials on Instagram by influencers and models. People paid thousands of dollars for private villas, gourmet food, and VIP treatment. What they got? FEMA tents, cheese sandwiches, and canceled flights. It was a scam wrapped in hype, fueled by FOMO, fear of missing out. People weren't buying a ticket to a concert. They were buying the fantasy of being rich, glamorous, and exclusive. And they got burned. Or how about MLMs? Multi-level marketing schemes. You know, the ones where your old high school friend suddenly slides into your DMs like, "Hey girl, I've got this amazing business opportunity for you." Spoiler, the opportunity is for them, not you. Statistics show that 99% of people in MLMs lose money. But they sell you the dream of being your own boss, working from the beach, making money while you sleep. In reality, you end up hustling your family and friends to buy overpriced protein shakes or essential oils. Here's the truth nobody wants to hear. The rich don't get rich quick. They get rich slow. They build companies, invest in assets, reinvest their profits, and wait. Bezos didn't become the richest man on earth by flipping penny stocks. Buffett didn't get rich by buying lottery tickets. Musk didn't become a billionaire overnight. He sold his first company, then poured the money into PayPal, Tesla, SpaceX, and worked like a maniac for decades. And you know what? That's not sexy. Get rich slow doesn't go viral on TikTok. Nobody wants to watch a video of Warren Buffett eating McDonald's every morning and reading reports for 6 hours. But that's the real playbook. Now, does that mean getting rich quick is impossible? Not exactly. Some people win the lottery. Some people bought Bitcoin at $1. Some people sold their startup at the right time. But here's the thing. Those are exceptions, not strategies. You can't build your financial life on lottery odds. So what should you do? First, protect yourself. If someone promises you guaranteed returns, run. If it sounds too good to be true, it is. If your gut feels weird, listen to it. And most importantly, don't chase every shiny thing you see online. Remember, wealth is not built on hype. It's built on habits. Second, focus on the boring stuff that actually works. Build an emergency fund. Pay off high-interest debt. Invest consistently in diversified assets like index funds or real estate. Increase your skills so you can earn more. These things are not flashy, but they're real. They work. Third, rewire your brain. Instead of craving instant dopamine hits, train yourself to enjoy long-term wins. Celebrate saving $500. Celebrate hitting a new net worth milestone. Because those little steps, they compound. And compounding is the closest thing to magic in finance. And finally, be patient. Wealth is not a sprint. It's a marathon. If you can learn to love the process, not just the end goal, you'll stick with it. And 10, 20 years from now, you'll look back and realize you're richer than you ever imagined. Not because you got lucky, but because you got disciplined. So let's wrap this up. The next time you see an ad promising you overnight riches, remember, it's probably making someone rich, but it won't be you. If you want real wealth, play the long game. Build it step by step. It's not sexy, but it works. And hey, if this episode gave you a reality check, or at least made you laugh about Bernie Madoff and cheese sandwiches, do me a favor. Hit that subscribe button, share this podcast with a friend who keeps talking about the next sure thing, and drop a comment with your thoughts or questions. I read them all, and who knows, your question might be the topic of our next episode. This is KingG Finance Podcast, reminding you, don't just chase wealth, build it. See you in the next episode.